Welcome to highlights of the first leg of the last 32 of the UEFA Women's Champions League for 2019-2020. And for Glasgow City, it's a long trip. It's 4,000 odd miles round trip to Moscow up against FC Chertanovo. City on paper will be the favourites, the seeded side up against the team who are making their bow in the competition in this year's campaign. Welcome to the Sport Gordok Arena. So the sides coming out. This place looks over the Luzhniki Stadium in Moscow, and let's look at the teams. For the home side, captained by Yulia Besilova, it's a very young side, a side that have lost two or three of their big goal scorers in the recent year or so, including to CSK Moscow, who became a real powerhouse. Chertanovo are struggling this season domestically. For Glasgow City, Scott Booth, it's as strong a side as you could pick, really. One or two players like Joe Love, who didn't play on Sunday, back in the fold for this big game. Forward from the Chertanovo captain Besilova, but sitting at back. It feels a bit reminiscent of a nice WPL1 game, this City, even on the road in Europe with plenty of the possession. Chertanovo very much 10 players behind the ball most of the time in these opening 10 minutes or so. Wide it goes from Love to Loader. Trying to trick away from Govert. McLaughlin, who was excellent against Rangers, I think an unsung heroine on Sunday in performance. Here's Doherty now, bit of space, fired through Howitt trying to get there ahead of Besilova. Govert gets it half away. There's Shine. Loader! It's a great goal, Hayley Loader again in the UEFA Women's Champions League last 32. She scored early in Cyprus last year, she scored early in Moscow. How about that? Well, it wasn't cleared initially from the hopeful ball in from Doherty. And Shine picked out Loader, and well, a trademark of sorts, different foot though. And it bent into that corner. What a start for Glasgow City. McLaughlin. Okay, let's go over Loader coming in. Blocked from Belousova and cleared away. City now finding their stride. Corner, 10 minutes before half time. It's a short routine. Oh, it's just at the top of Kerr, and it was Shine stretching at the back post. Not quite for Claire Shine. Let's see, Kerr just inches over her and Shine couldn't stretch close enough. Throwing in towards Shine. Oh, and well, one or two cries for a penalty. I think it was against Morozova. Certainly a few players asking, Claire Shine asking the question. Perhaps a little clumsy when the defender did Shine go down a bit easy. That way I think the referee's decision on that. Crichton here for Kerr. Played well so far in this game. Crichton into Howitt. Well, a bit of a dunt on Howitt, and another couple of three appeals. A challenge from Besilova. Clark, and to interrupt the counter, Scott Booth is certainly asking the question. I think Kirsty Howitt isn't too happy. Ball came up towards Howitt to try and turn away, and there was a bit of a shove there. Again, was there enough? The referee said no. Crichton. Lovely ball here for Claire Shine, who's going to get there. Head of Morozova. Defender gets back though. Kerr. Crichton here for Shine. Oh, and just the space closed down. Morozova back there once more. Lovely little ball through initially, and then this one seemed to Shine. Just that space and the block in from Besilova actually in the end. Crichton here for Kerr. who twists and turns and just stopped Veselova, and eventually she gets it away. A couple of players involved. It was a good mazy run from Sam Kerr. But this has been the problem. Not played vintagely Glasgow City, but when they do get into that final third, they've struggled to break down Chertanovo. Howitt, Shine, Kerr, Love. Thought she was maybe thinking about a shot. Dropping over, edged her backwards, and now Doherty has been dispossessed, and Dubova here. Big chance through, and there is the home side opportunity. Chertanovo coming in, and there was Alexander around. Ross was getting herself back, just not quite hitting the pace, but she may have got the last leg to divert it away. They've not shown very much, but this was the little moment in the ball forward to the sub, the second half. Chertanovo just ahead of Ross. Ross, though, with a fantastic intervention, really taking the pain for it, but I'm sure she'll be back up in a moment. Pass not sticking. Here's Love. Shine onside. Foley blocking from Gover. McLaughlin quick here. Shine away from Morozova, and keeper's got a foot to it, and it is going to be a corner. Probably could have left that. It's going into the side netting. Good instinctive shot. There was nothing that Chelsea on for Shine. And have on the corner. They went quickly here. Back down the throats it comes. Here's McLaughlin, second try. It's not clear particularly well. Here's Foley on the turn. Away it goes by Ponomareeva again. Again, not a lot on that space, but at least got the corner there. Crichton going to leave this for Nicola Doherty. Just under 14 minutes left. City would ideally love a second away goal. Their dominance, but perhaps not played brilliantly. There's Shine throwing the turn there. Well, instinctive shot from Claire Shine, ball up to her, but couldn't quite curl it. Bending and bending, but not quite enough. And towards that stubborn sign mark, and that's going to be a free kick. Megan Foley and Rachel McLaughlin are saying that's a dive, and I think Leanne Crichton's been booked for the kick away of the ball. Bit frustrating there, Leanne Crichton. Well, Burilina, she went over really easily. And unfortunately for Leanne Crichton, she's kicked the ball away. Yellow card for her. Perhaps the last chance. So for a minute into stoppage time. And it comes all the way across. Big chance, Chertanovo, and it's going to fall for Alexander Kuzmina in the follow-up. Well, that was a nervy moment. Glasgow City, they've had one other good chance of the home side, but City perhaps not had the chances in the game, but have been dominant in possession. And a bounce through, and if Chertanovo connected with that, that could have been a goal. Game over in Moscow. Glasgow City once again, like last year in the last 32, have a lead in the UEFA Women's Champions League first leg in the last 32 stage, but just the one goal, far more dominant you'd say this year round against the Moscow side that have struggled domestically, but they hung in defensively, had one or two moments later on in the second half and they gave it a bit of a go. But it will just be Haley Lawler's goal with still work to do, but you suspect hopefully a home crowd can push City to a win. Big game to come against Celtic on Sunday, but in Moscow, final score Chertanovo 0, Glasgow City 1.